Hey folks, Fox 13 meteorologist Tyler Eliasen here. Appreciate you checking in with us as always here on myfoxhurricane.com. We are very early in the season, but as we saw late last week, things can still happen this time of year. We had Arlene, a short-lived tropical storm back on, Thursday, Friday, and into early last week. An inconsequential storm as expected, but just goes to show you things can happen at any point in the hurricane season. That being said, development not expected for the next week. We'll hopefully see this map a lot this season. And I do think in general, this season is going to be less storms, less named storms than what we've seen the last 3-4 years, which has been 20 to 25 storms each season. And that's simply because of a lot of wind shear across the Gulf and across the Caribbean, common development zones, especially early in the season and again late in the season. This is all kind of tied to the expected developing El Nino, which is, of course, warmer water in the eastern Pacific. And what that really leads to is just our jet stream being further south and our subtropical jet being more active. So again, high wind shear tears apart storms. This is what tore apart Arlene, and it was a big reason why it was never really going to do anything for us. But this is a big barrier here for the Gulf and across the southeastern Atlantic coast of the U.S. Hopefully we get more of this throughout the season, because with this going on, even if you get a storm coming up from the south, it's just going to get torn apart. So this is great stuff for protection, if you will, from storms this season. But just goes to show you, I mean, we've seen it in many years that you can get one storm and it's one bad storm and it's a bad year. It doesn't have to be 20, 25 storms. We can have 5 or 6 and one of them is bad, and that's how it goes. So we still got to be on guard for things. Think back to 92, Andrew, right? I mean, it was 7 storms that year, and one of them was Andrew, and we all know how bad that was. So just stay prepared. We'll be here with you throughout the season. Typically speaking, June is a month in which things are homegrown, as we call it. It's usually a front that comes south. Like we saw with Arlene, we get some shear in the atmosphere, some instability. Things get turning, not to say strong shear, because you get too much shear and it's going to tear apart a storm, but typically you get that disturbance over warm water and it can spin something up. We'll be on the lookout for that. That's typically where things are in June and July. And then as we get into August and September, the hotbed of the season, everything kind of moves out further into the Atlantic. We, of course, had Arlene already, so the next name on the list will be Brett whenever that forms. Of course, the most active part of the year, August, September, and into October. So as we move towards those months, again, we'll probably see more activity. It's just going to be subdued a little bit in terms of the number of storms we have overall this season. We'll be here with you all the way through. Appreciate you checking with us as always. Take care and have a great day.